Hey everybody, how's it going? Stout Man coming back at you once again today, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some more stuff that I found from SecondSpin. Yes, I keep buying things from SecondSpin. I can't stop myself. But in this case, I have a reason for it. A reason that I couldn't stop myself, at least. And that would be that during April Fools and Easter, it was April Fools on Easter thing going on. They decided to run a very special sale where every DVD and Blu-ray was like 41% off, and I'm just like, 41% off? Okay, I can't say no to that. I can't not get something in that sale. I kind of have to take advantage of a sale that freaking good. And that's exactly what I did. So let's show you what I got. I got some stuff here that I normally wouldn't have gotten, but this time around, because of the deep discount, I was able to get a much better price than I normally see on these titles. So went ahead and picked up, for instance, Lost in Translation, which came to, I believe, under $5, which is exactly what I've been wanting to pay for it, because although I know a lot of people love this movie, it's really not one of my favorites. It's definitely a good movie. It's definitely worth having in my collection, I believe personally. Obviously, why else would I buy it? However, it's not one of those movies that really struck a personal or deep chord with me the way it did with a lot of other people. So, it's not one of those movies that I felt like I absolutely have to have in my collection, and I'm willing to pay whatever you want me to pay for it, you know what I mean? So, I waited and waited and waited on this until I could find a good price, and hey, 41% off of what was, I think, like $7 or $8. It came to $5 or thereabouts, that's all I remember. So, yeah, I was definitely willing to do it for that price, because it's very hard to find this for a good price. At least it's very hard to find this for less than like $8, I would say. That's typically the low price you're going to see for Lost in Translation. The higher price being like $15, so $8 to $15 typically. So that isn't too, I guess it's not too much to ask for a movie like this, but again, for something that I didn't feel like I needed to have immediately in my collection, I'm definitely glad that I got it for the price that I did. I'll put it that way. Next up, I finally managed to pick up Troll Hunter, and this one I believe was one of the ones that was like $11.99 or something like that. So after the discount, it came to $7 or something like that, which, quite frankly, is a really good deal for Troll Hunter, because this is one that's usually between like $10 and $15. So what they were charging originally wasn't necessarily out of the question, but to be able to get it for 41% off, very cool deal there. And the kind of price that I've been waiting for on this one, to be quite honest, because I love it. I want it in my collection, but I didn't, again, I'm a cheapskate. I didn't want to pay a whole lot of money for it. So to be able to get it for like $7, fantastic. That's exactly what I was looking for. If you haven't seen this movie, you definitely need to. It might still be on Netflix. I don't remember. I haven't looked it up. Or it might be on another streaming service for all I know, but it's a really good, like, found footage documentary style film, and I guess you could say it's got its like horror elements, but it's more of a fantasy kind of movie. And yes, it's meant to be a little bit scary, but at the same time, it's really not that scary, and I don't feel like it's. I feel like it's sold more as a scary movie than it actually is a scary movie. And it's just a fun thing for people who are into fantasy type stuff, and a really well done found footage style movie. I know a lot of people just can't wrap their heads around found footage style movies. They don't like them. I get that, but what I'm trying to tell you here is, even if you don't like those types of movies, I feel like this is one you could get behind. So definitely check this one out when and if you get the chance. Next up, this one was also around, I think, 12, 11, 12, maybe. The price here says 13, but I think it was actually a little bit less than that on SecondSpin. And yeah, I tried to get the sticker off, but as you can tell, it didn't work that well. The Great Mouse Detective. This is a Disney title that I've been wanting in my collection for a long time. I've had it on my wish list for freaking ever and just have never been able to find a really good price on it. So I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally, here it is. I finally have it in my collection. I remember fondly watching this as a kid and loving it back then. I've been wanting to see if it still holds up, and now I can finally see if it still holds up, you know what I mean? Because this is one that I've been told doesn't age well, and, well, I'm willing to believe that. I'm willing to take people's word for it, but I still want to see it for myself and decide for myself and see if maybe I wasn't totally clear on this when I was a kid. Maybe because I was just a kid, I thought it was good, but it maybe wasn't that good. Either way, it's something that I definitely wanted to check out once again and to put in my collection. I mean, I don't really have that many Disney titles left to put in my collection as it is, because I've got quite a few of them to begin with, and there are holes to fill in that collection, but there are also titles that I have no interest in. So when it comes to the titles that I do have interest in, they're quickly being filled up. Like the holes of titles that I am interested in are being filled up as we speak. This is one of them. Not that many more to go. So yeah, very glad to have picked this up for such a good price. I think it was like $7 or $8. In fact, yeah, I think it was like $8. Which again, for a Disney title is not that bad. This one, I feel like it may have at some point dropped down to that price, but in recent years it hasn't. So to get it for $8 now is a pretty good price. Next up, I managed to snag Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men. This one was, I think, about $8 on there, so with 41% off it came down to under $5, which is a great deal, because I've seen it for about the $8 price point before, but it's just, as much as I like these movies, I don't want to pay too dang much for them, especially in a simple little combo set like this, where they're both on the same... Hold on as I move the code that probably doesn't even work anymore. Both on the same disc. It's like, yeah, I want these on Blu-ray in the highest possible quality, but I also know what's going on here, and I don't want to pay way too much or more maybe than it's worth for two movies on one disc situation. You know what I mean? As much as I enjoy these movies and one of them in my collection, I was willing to wait until I found the price that I wanted, and I finally found it. You cannot go wrong with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. They were just so good at what they did, and when I was a kid, I didn't really understand any of the jokes, or at least most of the jokes in this movie, and I didn't understand why it was why these two were such a good fit together. Now, with age and experience, I do understand. So, yeah, can't wait to check this out again and see how many more of those old people jokes I get now that I'm a little bit older myself. Next up, I found Planet 51, and I believe this one was like under $5 to begin with, and then you add the extra 41% off, and it's like still an even stupidly better deal than that. I think the total came to like $250 or something like that for this one. Not a bad deal. It's actually a pretty good movie. I know a lot of people would say this is kind of a crappy animated film, but I don't think so. I think it's actually a really good one, starring none other than The Rock as the main voice actor for the main character in this movie. And I especially like this little character right here. He's a hilarious little side character. Love him. And yeah, I mean, when I saw the trailers originally for this, I didn't think it was going to be that good. I thought it was going to be kind of trash. And turned out it really surprised me. It was actually pretty damn good. The story was well told. The acting was, the voice acting was really good. The writing was fantastic. So I really didn't have many complaints here. Maybe it's a little weak, maybe in terms of like not being very deep, but how many animated films aimed at children are deep in any way, shape, or form, you know what I mean? So, yeah, for what it was, I really enjoyed this, but it's one of those that I've seen, it. They put it on TV all the freaking time. So, like, I remember several years ago when they would play this on TV all the time, and I would end up seeing it, like, or at least leaving it on TV because there was nothing else on, you know what I mean? That kind of scenario. I'd leave the TV on this channel and they'd put this movie on so frequently that I just got sick and tired of it. So I waited and waited and waited on this because, well, even though I knew I liked it, I also was just tired of it. Didn't want to see it again for quite a while. So when it came down to a really reasonable price there, like $2.50, I had to say yes on that because, well, one, it's been long enough, and two, that's very good price for this one. So, yeah. Next up, I decided to pick up Exodus Gods and Kings. This is one of the movies that I did not see. I saw Noah. I think this came out around the same time as Noah, if I recall correctly. But that one was a bit controversial, and then this one people thought was going to be controversial, and I guess maybe it was a little bit. I don't really remember that much about all the hullabaloo surrounding this one, but whatever the case may be, it looked like an interesting take on the biblical story, and regardless of my religious beliefs, which I do have some ties to some religious beliefs, even if I don't necessarily, subscribe to those beliefs as much anymore. I would consider myself an agnostic, if anybody's wondering, but I still like biblical epics because, well, there's a reason they call these like the greatest stories ever told, right? Because they have been stories that people have been telling for thousands of years that have persisted through the ages. And that means they're pretty damn good if they're still being told, you know what I mean? And they are really good stories, and this one in particular is a story that I like to hear from time to time. Another version of this that I'm trying to get is Prince of Egypt, the animated film from DreamWorks. That one had some amazing CGI, early CGI, that was just fantastic, and it was also just a really good movie to begin with. Unfortunately, I don't believe they ever put it on Blu-ray, so gotta find the DVD of that one, but that's one that's also been on my wish list. Either way, this is a version, I guess, of that story that I haven't seen and I have some interest in seeing, and it was a really good price after the 41%. I believe it was about the same price actually as Planet 51, so it was like $2.50 or something like that. So pretty cool deal there. I know this one has been on sale for as little as like $3 at certain Big Lots. Perhaps some of them in your area have even been marked down to $1.50 because nobody bought them or something. But in my area in particular, the lowest price they ever had of that is $5, and I just could not do that. It was like, I'm not that interested in it, But for $2.50, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. That's a pretty good deal. And yeah, from the director of Gladiator. Ooh, Ridley Scott. Ooh. So, yeah, had to take a chance on that. Next up, I found perhaps the one title that I have really been trying to get in my collection for the longest time, because they have pretty much refused to put this on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or anything like that. It's just one of those titles that you can't find it on any streaming service anywhere, ever. I don't know what the deal is with that. They just refuse to put it on any streaming service. And I've been trying to see this ever since I heard about it and ever since I saw the trailer for it, because it looks so damn good. But they only released it in a few theaters, none near me at the time that it came out. So I did not get the chance to see this in theaters, and it was one of those rare cases where if you missed it in the theaters, you either buy it on home video or you're screwed. And of course, because of that, likely, the home video release has been so freaking expensive since then. Like, very rare to find it for less than $15. So this one I think was like 12 or 13 on SecondSpin. I can't remember the exact price, but I think it came down to like $7 or something like that after all was said and done. And I am so glad about that because that is such a good price on this one, especially considering it came with the slip cover, and that is cooties. Oh my god. If you guys know what this is, leave a comment in the comments below and just tell me how hyped you are that I got this. Holy crap. I have been waiting so long to finally see this because it looks so hilarious and so brilliant in every possible way. I mean, first of all, you've got a lot of notable actors on there in this movie. But second, it's a story about, it's basically zombie children who have been infected with like the cooties virus, if you will. It's just, it sounds so ridiculous and ludicrous and outrageous that I just had to see this, and it was just getting on my nerves that I couldn't find anywhere to finally actually see this. So to be able to get this for really, really good price, like $7, and it came with the slipcover, that is a fantastic deal, and it's one I've been trying to find for a long time, and thanks to that 41% off, I was able to finally make it happen. So very cool stuff. Very, very jazzed about that. But that is not all I got. The last thing that I picked up here, because it came down to like $6 after the discount, was Simpsons the 10th season. And this means that I now have seasons 1 through 10 of The Simpsons on DVD. Obviously, I still need to get seasons 10 through 20 and beyond. And now that they have actually started that up again, now that they've started putting them on DVD again, it looks like I might be able to do that. So that's pretty cool. For those who are wondering, they did not actually put The Simpsons in high definition until I believe it was season 20. So even if there are Blu-rays of Simpsons seasons out there that are before season 20, those are upscaled. And I don't want those because they're just, it's not going to look quite right, because these were, like, I want to see it the way it was originally intended to be seen, right? And it was originally intended to be seen on a, like, tube TV, you know what I mean? So in lieu of being able to watch it on a tube TV, what I do is I play it on my computer through my DVD drive in my computer, and I use VLC, and I turn on the deinterlacer on there because they have a really good deinterlacer. Like, I try to play it in other DVD players and it just doesn't look right, but use a deinterlacer on VLC and it looks fantastic, the way it should look, you know what I mean? So yeah, and some people will say, but I want it to fill the screen. It's not supposed to fill the damn screen. This was not originally intended. It was originally designed to be 4:3, especially these episodes, these earlier episodes. So they should be 4:3. If you're trying to fill your screen with this kind of, this season of The Simpsons, then you're doing it wrong. It was meant to be seen in a box format, 4:3, and you're cutting off part of the image just so that it'll fit your screen. And that's just stupid. And it's not going to look right no matter what you do. So yeah, I am very happy to have this in my collection, and for anyone who's wondering, I do not intend to get any Simpsons season sets on anything other than DVD until we get to the point where they actually started doing episodes in high definition. And I honestly don't even know if I'm going to go that far, because some of those seasons weren't very good. But I mean, to be fair, I also do kind of want to catch up on them, because there are a lot of episodes that I missed that I did not see during those years. So although it has that reputation of being not so good during those years, I still want to see it and decide for myself whether or not I was just being stupid. So yeah, I believe in fact there are probably a few episodes on this season that I have not seen, so very glad to have gotten it for such a good price, like $6, really good deal. Very happy about that. So all in all, I got some pretty damn good pickups here from SecondSpin, and I would like to point out that a lot of them are like items that I have been wanting for a long time, just because of how good the deals were, because of how deep the discount was. 41% off is just a deal you can't beat. And it only happened on April 1st, and if you didn't get it then you didn't get it, period. So, yeah, very, very happy because I can't, like, other than Planet 51 and Exodus, the rest of these were all wish list items. They're all items I had on my wish list that I now can take off my wish list because I have them in my collection now. Cool stuff. That will do it for me, you guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Peace.